Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tree of Life Tarot. This is going to be your daily tarot messages and energy read for Thursday, April 23rd. So let us go ahead and jump right in and see what are the messages for this day, okay? Oh, Seven of Swords. Not my favorite. And the Page of Wands, who came out yesterday in a different deck. Bottom of the deck, whoops, Ten of Swords. So this is a little bit of tough energy. This is the end of a difficult cycle. So, you know, this card, I will say, as difficult as it is, as unpleasant as the energy is, this card is a bit of always a relief for me, because it does signify whatever this has been. It's been difficult, it's been very heavy, and it's finally done. It is dead and buried. So it's coming to a close. So it is a little bit of a relief. But here we have Seven of Swords, which is, okay, here's what I want to say right off the bat. If there's a message that's coming in this week, or someone reaching out to you, or whatever is coming in, because this is some kind of information, opportunity, energy coming in, you might not see the whole picture. This is a card, you know, at its worst, lying, cheating, stealing, scheming. It's sort of movement behind the scenes, and this indicates that what presents as sort of young, innocent, and exciting, there's more than meets the eye. So don't love starting off with that message, but that is what it is. There is more than meets the eye. There is something else going on here, and this may be, I don't want to say that it's malicious intent, but, you know, this may be like a distraction, like a little bit of a red herring to throw you off of the Seven of Swords, that there's more going on. Well, I've already said it, than meets the eye. More happening behind the scenes that you don't see. So let's get straight into it, because I want to see what else is going on here. That first message was very straightforward. Okay, whoops. All right, Ten of Wands came out reversed, so that's releasing some burdens. So that's, oh, okay. Well, our Ten of Swords just came out, and Justice. Okay. Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups, which I do love the Page of Cups. It's my favorite page, because it is a little bit of like, it's my simmer down card. It's that like fresh sprinkle of water on your face when things are too hot. That's what this card always gives me. It's very innocent. It's kind of an offer you can trust, and it's from the heart. So there's some, it's genuine energy. Okay, let's look at this. Nine of Pentacles, positive energy of doing your own thing. This is pre-Empress energy. She is kind of like, this is my single and loving it card, in her own energy, really doing her thing. She's pregnant with her ideas. She knows what her resources are and how to tend to them and use them. This is her garden. This is her domain. And we also have this hawk up here of sort of protection and divine communication. Queen of Wands. I'm not really sure what she's doing here, to be honest. I'll be interested to see what clarifies her. The Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords really go together. This is releasing a heavy burden. This is, you know, excuse me, got some allergies going on here. Releasing a heavy burden to end a cycle. And I don't love this, but what I'm getting here is there's a releasing of this Queen of Wands. Now, she's not coming out reverse. In reverse, I would be very cautious of the Queen of Wands. She can represent a bit of a temptation, kind of karmic energy that's, you know, has you blinded by passion or lust. And I don't just mean that like physical passion or lust. I mean like something shiny and alluring in life that might blind you or divert your path off of what your mission is. And so here with our Ten of Wands, this guy's been, you know, climbing for a long time. I actually don't love seeing this reversed. Because upright, it's like he's almost there. You know, he's almost home. He's gone this far, and for some reason, this completion has been suspended, and I sense it has something to do with this Queen of Wands. It's like there's been a deviation by something shiny. Again, going back up to what we started with, this Page of Wands, it's not all that meets the eye. Now, I will say I do love our Nine of Pentacles. This is still a very positive card for me. These are two different energies here. And this, for me, is more you and the energy I want you to stay in. Confident in your own resources, because this Queen of Wands situation, this does not have to be a person. It can be a person. It does not have to be a person, but it's suspending the completion of this cycle. So the ideas that had you trapped and staying up all night, that is coming to an end. And of course, we have justice here. Justice is restoring balance and harmony, putting things back into their proper place. And it's this Ten of Swords that, you know, the Justice and Ten of Swords are going together, you know. The ending of this cycle is allowing justice to be restored. But the Ten of Wands and our Queen of Wands are connected here. And I almost feel like it's like because the Queen of Wands is upright, the Ten of Wands is reversed. This Queen of Wands sort of needs to be seen for what's really going on, and not seeing it is sort of preventing, the closing of this cycle completely. Like it's just the last steps of whatever needs to be completed here. It's not like the whole thing is lost. But it's just saying to me, and maybe, you know what, maybe that is what this is saying here, because this is reversed and you're so close. It's like, don't get distracted by whatever this is. You've done this much work to get this far. You're sitting in Nine of Pentacles. With your resources, has really kind of come into your own energy here. There's just a little further to go, so don't get distracted and miss that final climb, those last steps, because of this like alluring, you know, the Queen of Wands here is really pointing me to what we started with. Don't get distracted by this temptation. It's like a test. Because then when we see here is Ten of Swords closing out. So the capacity to be distracted, the capacity to be, you know, up all night worrying about these things, this point of view, this perspective, because this is swords here, that only leads to death. And it's like you've ridden that idea and that perspective as far as it can go. You know, this Seven of Swords strategizing, whatever this is, it only ends here. And it's time for some justice. So this shows me maybe you moving past this temptation already. Letting go of that version of yourself that would fall for that. Letting that cycle close. Letting that temptation die. It doesn't have sway over you anymore. So that justice can come in here. All right, let's clarify. This is very interesting energy. Okay. Whoops. Nope. I'm being told to cut one more time. Okay. Clarifiers. There's one. Page of Pentacles. Good. I don't know why I'm saying good. We don't know the whole story yet. There's my Knight of Wands. He's been coming out quite a bit. Talk about temptation. Although he's a little bit more my lovable rogue card. Emperor. Standing strong. Eye on the prize. Getting all the way there. That's like full realization and like, you know, the highest and best form of that masculine energy. All right. Something very specific wants to come out here at the end. Nope, not that. Being told to be patient, which is not always easy. Here it is. All right, those two go together, and that's our final card. So I'm going to address these first before I flip them over. So bottom of the deck, we have the World, which is the completion of a cycle, so closing things out, and we have that very strongly here with the tens. So whatever this is, we are closing out a cycle. Now, I'm going to start with the Emperor. I love seeing the Emperor here because this is, as I said, standing strong, eye on the prize, knowing what your values are, knowing what you're about, not giving into temptation. He did not become the Emperor by getting distracted by all these shiny things. Okay. Page of Pentacles with a Nine of Pentacles. This is my card of a small offering. This is like a small step. It's, you know, it's not quite doing your due diligence because it's supporting the Nine of Pentacles energy. And because it's a page, it is a small action, a small tangible step. And it's like a cautious step from your place of power, from your place of abundance and self-reliance. Now, our Knight of Wands here, this is my Lovable Rogue card. He's come out a bit recently. There is a little bit of, I'm not getting a negative read on him. But his relationship to the Queen of Wands, he's a step down from the Queen, just in terms of like the hierarchy of, the court cards. And I'm almost getting like you standing in your power and engaging on your terms with your pentacle, because this is a card of like engagement. I don't mean engagement like wedding. I mean engagement like, encounter, interaction. Engaging with your pentacle sort of knocks this down to sort of see it for what it is, which is not necessarily malicious. It's just kind of like an impulsive adventurer that's not actually going anywhere. I mean, it's going somewhere, but it's not leading to culmination. It's just energy on the move. Okay, let's flip these over and see. Oh my goodness. Cycles and cycles and more cycles. So the Wheel of Fortune here, Wheel of the Year in this deck. So this is the turning of the wheel. It's upright in a positive direction, and Six of Pentacles is my Divine Intervention card. So it's like you keeping your eye on the prize, staying in Emperor energy, knowing what you're about, knowing who you are, knowing what your goals are, completing this phase of the journey. The wheel turns, and this is like unexpected help and offering and, abundance pouring in. And then King of Cups. Oh, I love that. It's like this is the hard part and it ends in a soft place. It's like overcoming this temptation and this block. King of Cups is the highest form of love. It's someone who leads in strength, but strength from like their emotional core. Is not, ruled by emotions in the sense of emotions having the best of them, but rules by emotions in terms of can perceive from the heart space, is attuned to kind of sensory perception. And doesn't have to be quite so aggressive and hard, Has, strong emotional maturity and strength, and gets to live in a little bit of a softer place because he's emotionally secure, and he's also environmentally secure, which helps support the emotional security. And so here we have, this is the test, this is overcoming it. In doing so, the cycle closes out, the wheel turns, there is new abundance flowing in, there is divine intervention and blessing on this King of Cups, on this higher love, on this living. It's like, the King of Cups for me is also about like, how do you live and lead in terms of your entire life from that heart center space? How do you rule your environment, not kind of at the whims of external pressures or narratives, but from that core authentic place? That's my King of Cups. So there's a test and some temptation here. When you overcome it, that strengthens you into this emotional maturity that puts things in their right place. Okay, that was pretty clear. So heads up. Hope this served, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.